It's over to you, Peter.
Palesa, thank you very much indeed, and a very warm welcome to all of you at home, wherever you may be watching across South Africa, and indeed the many territories that are watching on DSTV across Africa as well. September is Heritage Month in South Africa, and one of the things that we like to do in Heritage Month is celebrate some of our fine institutions that form very much a part of our heritage, or traditional heritage, and traditional leaders is one of those institutions that we enjoy right across the country. And in fact, the Constitution has worked very hard to make sure that their role is preserved and enhanced over time. A couple of other institutions as well that we'll discuss during the course of this conversation. But what role do they play in 2016? Are they ceremonial, or do they actually have power to do real things to contribute to the communities in which they serve? And also, I suppose, at the end of the day, helping to move South Africa forward. Well, we have a number of guests that I'm going to introduce to you, but the first guest is the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, who's joining us to talk to us a little bit about government and the role that they play in dealing with our traditional leaders. Minister Desmond Roy, thank you very much for joining us, and welcome to you.
Thank you very much, Peter, and a very good morning.
Next to you, we have the Deputy Minister of COGTA, Deputy Minister Obed Bapela. Thank you very much for joining us, and welcome to you. I know that traditional affairs and issues are one of your main focus points as Deputy Minister. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, and good morning to viewers of SABC and Morning Live.
And apart from some in the audience, we also have on panel some traditional leaders that are going to share their experiences and their thoughts, and perhaps some of their concerns and some of the things that are working for them. The first two that we have Kgosi Nwamitwa. Thank you very much for joining us, and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, and good morning to the listeners of SABC2.
And next to you, we have Kgosi Pilani. Thank you very much for joining us, and welcome to you as well.
Thank you very much, Peter, and welcome to your viewers.
All right, so let me start with you, Minister. We're coming towards the end of Heritage Month. Traditional leadership is a very important pillar of our heritage. And I just wonder your thoughts in terms of your department and the work that it's been doing to try and make sure that our traditional leaders have their rightful place in a modern society.
Thank you, Peter, once more. Let me take this opportunity to really appreciate the fact that you have invited us, to deal with this important matter. But also let me welcome my fellow panelists, and of course, a very good morning to all those who are in the audience and your viewers at home. Indeed, as you know, this month is the month that we refer to as the Heritage Month. And the month accords us an opportunity to celebrate our diversity in our cultures, in our heritage practices, Now, to take forward this particular aspect, our government have a ministry that is called COGTA, which is comprised of cooperative governance as well as traditional affairs. So at the center of the mandate of the Traditional Affairs Department is to make sure that issues of traditional leaders as well as issues of heritage are taken care of. So we do this working together with the traditional leadership sector. And of course, we do this with a full knowledge that the traditional leaders are the custodian of our customary laws and customary practices as well as our heritage. And definitely, we think that this sector still got a very, very big role to play in terms of ensuring that we maintain, but also promote our customary practices. And that's why we usually partner with them to celebrate this important month. And that's exactly what we have done and will continue to do.
All right, Deputy Minister, thank you very much indeed. As I turn to you, Deputy Minister, and this is something that's quite close to what you do as an area of focus. And I'm just wondering, in 2016, how do we balance a modern society, a modern constitution, and the traditional role that traditional leaders have been playing? What input have you been putting in, and also some of the challenges that you've had to overcome to make sure that our traditional leaders have a role to play, but at the same time, we live in a modern world, inverted commas?
Thank you, Peter. Let me just say to South Africans, we have 829 traditional leaders in South Africa across all national groups, and also 10 kings that we also have. That's what South Africa has inherited, and in South Africa is molding, and we're beginning to look at the sector to indeed include tradition, culture, customs, but at the same time to also look at modernity. And they are there, we cannot whisk them away, and the Constitution enjoys and compels us to recognize them as in Chapter 12. Now, with that recognition and the constitutional obligation, ours is to then, pillar one, to strengthen the sector and the institution itself that is there. Secondly, the customary role that traditional leaders plays is about preservation, protection, and promotion of our culture's heritage, including the cultural heritage, which is part of the tourism. Let's then begin to identify all sites. There were over 2,000 halls in South Africa since 1652 up to liberation. Are those sites being identified, modernized, so that people can visit and go and get the story of where South Africa comes from, where it is, and where it's going? The other pillar is on the social cohesion and nation building. They are, as part of their custodian, the restorers of Ubuntu. And Ubuntu is about our manners, our behavior, our conduct, humanity, as you will all call it. And I think that is a very big agenda that will contribute to social cohesion and nation building. And the last pillar is around socio-economic activities. Remember, traditional leaders themselves were once wealthy. They were a government, and they will till the land, they will produce from the land, they had cattle then as a form of wealth, and everyone was benefiting from that particular system. Now with democracy, obviously, we had to then allow democracy to take space, but they are still there, and then they have land, and we need to utilize that land for continuously produce more from the land. And there's a lot of mineral wealth that is coming, and Josipil, I think, will speak about it, and Jose Nwamita will speak more about the agricultural product that they are already doing, and then delivering to the market today, the goods that come from the soil. And then on the mining side, Josipil is even building a city in Muruleng, and then that's where he is. And a new stadium has been built there. A new heritage site has been built, modernized. So then, therefore, that indicates to you that where wealth is and it discovers in traditional land, we could then begin to marry the two, democracy and modernity, and including the heritage and cultural aspects.
Okay. Well,